Peptide therapy is huge right now, and if you're watching this video, it's probably because you want to start offering peptides at your practice, but don't know how. A lot of marketing agencies and practitioners are figuring out quickly that you can't just throw an ad for a prescription medication on Meta and Google and just start generating tons of revenue. There's a lot of regulations and steps that you must adhere to for you to have a successful campaign. My name is Nathan, I'm the owner of NextMed Marketing, and we help cash-based private practices all across the United States with their marketing. Over the years, I've helped dozens of practices crack the code and start advertising peptides on platforms like Meta and Google, but I've seen just as many clinics crash and burn because they don't understand the regulations behind it. So in this video, I'm breaking down everything that you need to know to successfully run peptide ads for either your own business or if you're an agency running peptide ads for another clinic. Let's start with the number one mistake that I see, and that's a mindset thing. A lot of medical professionals walk into peptide marketing thinking, I'm a licensed provider, I am offering monitored therapy, I should be able to advertise this. And yes, while that is true, you need to understand what Meta and Google actually see here. And at the end of the day, what they see is just a research chemical. And Google is a huge business and they do not want to be held liable if something goes sideways down the road. So they've built in extremely strict regulations to try and prevent people from running ads for these prescription medications. And these algorithms are a lot smarter than most people understand. This is a great example I like to mention when I'm talking to clients. Your ad copy can be perfect. The ad can be exactly how you want it to be. Nothing mentions peptides on the ad creative itself. However, if you're sending that traffic to a landing page and that landing page talks about peptides, your account can still get banned. Google and Meta are going to check where you're sending this traffic and what this landing page says. If this landing page talks about prescription medications, you are still going to get your account banned. So what does this mean? I'm trying to emphasize that there is no shortcut. There is no easy way out of running peptide ads without getting the certifications and going the route that Meta and Google wants you to go. I've had 30 plus clinics come to me and say, hey, my last agency couldn't run CJC or some Moreland ads because I had to get a certification. Can you do it for me? And the answer is no, we cannot. You need to get the certification because your account will get banned or suspended if we run the ads without it. At the end of the day, you have to do these things to run prescription medications on their platform. Okay, so now that you know you need to have these specific certifications in line, you might be thinking, what does this cost me? And this is usually the bad news for a lot of smaller clinics. Certifications like LegitScript, which are accepted by Google and Facebook, can be $3,000 per year per site. So if you have other websites you're trying to run these on, or anything like that, you're looking at $3,000 in just a single certification. Then you have NABP, which is another certification, which can be $800 plus. And that's just the certifications, and sometimes you might have to do them a few times if you get denied. So yes, to even think about starting to run peptide ads, you need at least $4,000 just in certifications. And unfortunately, it kind of only gets worse from here. And the reason I say that is peptides are such high margin services, and you know that, and that's why you want to run a peptide ad as well, that a lot of companies are willing to bid a lot of money for a click or a keyword or a lead or something. I'm talking $30, $40 plus for a single click, not even for someone to fill out the form. So having a substantial budget is needed. Having too low of a budget will put your ads in really bad placements on like third-party websites where only bots go to or very unserious buyers are at. If you want to remain at the top of a serious channel, like literally when someone types in where to buy peptides and you show up number one, you need to have a substantial budget to compete against these companies. The budget that we recommend is at least $5,000 per month. Obviously, the more money, the better, because you're going to get better placements, better, basically everything, more data, but obviously it's also a lot of money. The third and final thing I want to talk about is the high cost of agency fees. I will be totally transparent here. There are not a lot of marketing agencies that understand the intricacies of prescription marketing, meaning that there are only so many marketing agencies to choose from. And because of that, we can charge premiums for these services. So you have to expect to pay a premium to get these types of ads approved by an agency. You can expect to pay anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 just for a simple landing page, up to $3,500, $5,000 in just setup fees, $2,000 a month in monthly management cost, and so much more that goes into this. Now, I'm not saying that those are our costs, but we do have clients that are beyond that, but it's also because there are clients that are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in ad spend, so of course their management fees are going to be extremely high. This is typically the biggest and hardest reality check for most local businesses. If you're a local business, you have to have this $4,000 certifications that you absolutely need to have, at least $5,000 a month in ad spend, and another $2,000 in monthly spend for your agency fees. This means that you're looking at $12,000 plus just to get started. This can be a huge turnoff for 99% of clinics. It's still important to remember that your main competitor, if you're doing peptide marketing, is in the local place down the street. They're probably not doing peptide ads yet. It's actually quite an uncommon thing still. Who you're going against is HIMS, or these companies that have huge $100, $200, $300 million marketing budgets that will try to outbeat you and bid more money than you and try to win that position over your clinic. So having a fighting edge is very important in this industry. Now, not all hope is lost though. There are ways to do this at different budget levels, and I'm gonna walk you through them. And from the most bulletproof approach, something that's gonna work 100% of the time, down to the more scrappy local play of trying to get around some of these things. Like I've mentioned a few times, certifications are absolutely by far the most important part of a peptide therapy marketing campaign. And when a new client comes to me wanting to run peptide ads, the very first thing I look at is to see whether they have the right certifications. It's honestly the fastest predictor of whether this campaign is going to succeed or not. So what even are these certifications? Since there are so many people that are running ads for peptides and other services like Botox or GLP-1s, which are all prescription medications, it's just too much for Google to handle, Google and Facebook to handle. So what they've done is they have an outside third-party platform which will verify that you're actually allowed to sell prescription medications, that you're not some essentially Chinese sweatshop just selling research lab rat chemicals to a bunch of people. So that's where something like LegitScript will come in and do that verification process for Google and Facebook. What you're looking at now is LegitScript, and you can see that they are recognized by a lot of the big advertising platforms, and they look for these specific things to verify that this certification is appropriate for you. You can see pharmacies, telemedicine providers, medical spas, digital health platforms, and a lot more are the audience that they cater to. To get this certification, you would have to first, check your eligibility. They have everything here on the website, and you would apply. And what you would need to apply is things like your DEA license, a prescriber number, practitioner information, business licenses. You need a lot of stuff to prove to them that you are who you say you are. After the LegitScript, the next thing you want to focus on is getting a drug distributor accreditation, or a DDA, from NABP. And the reason you want to do that is this, combined with LegitScript, is genuinely the fast track to being able to run peptide ads or any sort of prescription medication ads on these sorts of platforms. If you are unable to get certifications, it is exponentially more difficult, but you're not completely out of options, and this is the game plan that I would personally take if you're still looking for an option. To do this, I'll be honest, you got to be pretty creative. And I want to be upfront with you, without certifications, there's absolutely no guarantee that your account won't get banned or flagged or suspended, no matter how creative you are. But there are things that you can control to reduce the risk of immediately getting flagged, such as your copy and your landing pages and everything else that has to do with your ads. If you're going to run peptide ads today and your account got suspended, it would be for one of two things. The first one would be a prescription drug sale or a health and personalized ads violation. Both can be partially mitigated by controlling your language and imagery though. So some things to note here are never mention the specific chemical names like tesamorelin, ipamorelin, CJC, anywhere on your ads or on your landing page. You have to be very careful of this and find creative and unique copy to get around this sort of stuff. Avoid before and after photos, no matter, this even goes for like Botox. These platforms are too good, they're too smart. Avoid before and after photos. At least on Facebook, the ad creative, you can avoid before and afters. On your landing page, you don't really have to as much, but it still could be something that they can get you for. And a little NextMed secret, remember who helped you out. Remember, ads that are purely educational or informational get a lot more leniency, even for unapproved therapies. So if we're writing a blog educating something about, but it's not, we're not selling something, if you kind of can see where I'm getting at, then you're gonna have a lot more leniency. Now, up until this point, I've been talking about Facebook and Google in the same bucket, and although the regulations for running ads on Facebook and Instagram versus Google are different, the spirit is the same. The overarching theme is still relevant. So Meta is less focused on the chemical names and more focused on the health claims and targeting of the ads. So if you're trying to target people under the age of 18, that's the fastest way you're going to get banned. If you say, yeah, this cures cancer, yep, you're going to get banned. Meta is very strict on that. They don't want any sort of false claims on their platform. Okay, so what actually works on Meta and what should you be doing? That is lifestyle content, wellness angles, transformation stories is a great one to be doing that don't make any specific promises, but they do show that your life is improving. Feel like yourself again type of copy rather than this peptide will increase your HGH by 30%. Those are the types of ads that'll perform better on Meta. The biggest mistakes that we see on Meta are people running ads that are just way too specific. They're mentioning the exact therapies, the exact chemicals, making claims like, 33 patients saw a 33% increase in this in just 12 weeks. Do not do that. You're gonna get flagged right away. That's the fastest way for Meta to catch you in a heartbeat. Remember, both of these platforms are moving targets. Policies change essentially on a weekly basis, which is part of why specialized agencies in this space can charge expensive prices. It takes a lot to stay up to date with what Google and Meta are saying you can and cannot do. You're paying for someone to stay on top of this full time, essentially. So I'm gonna summarize everything for you if you're still confused. Marketing peptide therapy is not impossible, but it is genuinely one of the most complex and expensive niches in healthcare marketing today. If anyone tells you otherwise, they either haven't done it at scale or they're trying to take your money. The only practices that win in this space are the ones who take it seriously. They get certified, they budget properly, they work with agencies who actually understand compliance and play the long game. They have a sales team. They have good email marketing and SMS and follow-ups, which we handle for you if you work with NextMed. There is so much that goes into a successful campaign. So if you're serious about growing your peptide therapy services, please go to nexamed.us and schedule a call with our team. We only work with clinics that we truly believe that we can help scale their practice. So we'll take a look at your business, we'll audit it, and we'll give you our real thoughts on whether we believe that we can help your business or not. We have a proven strategy that has helped multiple clinics get through these exact same challenges. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.